Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepre-doers live morning show. Today, I have my co-hosts Anthony Picksburgh and Tommy the Bargain Effect, and we have our special guests Shane the Rise and Grind Picker and Marcy Kennedy.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
You guys want to?
I've been looking forward to it.
You guys want to do a little intro?
Sure. Sure. You want to go first, Shane?
Sure. So I'm Shane, the Rise and Grind Picker, and basically I sell on eBay and Amazon and sell anything that makes me a buck and do it full time. So, Marcy, go ahead.
My name's Marcy Kennedy. I have been selling on Amazon since January of this year, so less than a year, coming up on a year. It's been a fast year. And I do sell over on eBay, but since I started Amazon, probably about 95% of my focus goes to Amazon. So my eBay store has been hurting. I just cleaned out a bunch of inventory from eBay and, sold it myself here locally. And, but yeah, so I still do dabble in eBay, but Amazon is my passion. My background is I'm actually a nurse. I was a nurse for 21 years and then I retired from nursing and I caught the reselling bug. And, yeah, and if I may plug, Shane and I do a series on Tuesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We swap channels, and we are all about the reselling community. It's called the Reselling Network or Reseller Network. So we invite anybody and everybody who resells to join us live. So you can email us at theresellernetwork@gmail.com. Just a little disclosure is I only check it every couple days. So if I don't respond right away, I apologize. But anyway, we did have Nate every day and possibly on a couple weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. And Anthony is scheduled. When was it again, Anthony?
I'm pretty sure it's December 2nd.
That sounds right.
I have a big calendar right here.
Or if you want to follow updates on the show, go to the Reseller Network on Facebook and join the Facebook group.
Yeah, definitely.
It's free.
Anthony's going to be, Picksburgh is going to be on December 3rd. It's a Tuesday. Okay. Again, these are Tuesday shows.
I knew it was
9 p.m. on my channel.
Yeah, I have all
my channel is just my name.
And when we do them on Marcy's and mine versus like when we swap, what we're going to start doing is like I'm going to start taking clips of hers. She's going to start taking clips of mine. And we're going to start doing like an edited down version.
That's cool.
10-minute video. And then also putting the links below. Like your guys.
We just want to share the love, you know?
Yep.
We're all about growing the community and supporting each other, making friends, connecting.
Absolutely.
You guys just had Tommy and Destiny on last week, right?
I know. Absolutely. That was so much fun. We ended up talking like a half an hour before, half an hour after. Poor Shane he was sick as a dog and didn't even realize it.
That was the first night I was sick and I didn't even know I had what I had. So it was crazy.
Poor guy. Yes.
I have all their descriptions in the I have their links in the descriptions if anyone wants to check out their channels. Anthony, you want to do the brownie points?
Sure. Well, the first person I see is Justin Jacob, but his comment says, "Really, 6:05, Steven? LOL. Do you ever sleep in?" So I'm guessing Steven was there first.
Yeah, I saw Steven's. It's a good morning GM this morning at I think it was 7:05 my time, probably 6:05 Justin's time. So
yep. So we have this thing that Tommy and I initiated because we'd always have people jumping in super early. So we just started saying, "Hey, brownie points go to this person or that person."
That's awesome.
So we decided like a 30-day period. Whoever gets the most brownie points, we're going to send a brownie themed gift.
Oh, how cute! I love it.
So we have like a tight race of like 3 people that are like really gunning for it. So
that is really cool.
So today Steven Scroggins gets it 3 hours before showtime. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So good morning, Justin. Good morning, Steven. You guys are like battling to the death over them brownies. I love it. Even Kelly, the econ mom, said, "Man, y'all beat me." Good morning, Craig. As Landshark Picker Live and Landshark Picker. He's here twice. Moronic Pest, good morning to you. Cherry Picker, good morning, Veronica. Good morning to Matt, BK Vending and Flipping. Michelle Lathan, good morning to you. Eric Bischoff, what's up, my man? He's asking, did Nate's alarm wake him up this morning? Yep. Nate was up before me this morning, guys.
Yeah, he was up early too.
And he was up later than me last night, too.
Yeah, I ended up staying up till 1:30 last night doing Amazon sourcing and everything else.
Steampunk Town, good morning. My Flippin' Life, what is up, Jordan? Good to see you, buddy. Just Me, Kathy, good morning to you. DC Sales, the master of the license plate. We have Lisa C. What is up? Shamrock Pixie, what's up, Destiny?
Hey, Dest.
Hey, Destiny.
Hey, for some reason, my live chat went away. I don't know where it went. But
Yeah, it does like
anyway,
sometimes.
I'm sorry. I can't see the chat. So if anybody's talking to me, sorry.
I'll point it out. If anybody wants to ask or say anything to Marcy, just tag me in it, and I will relay the message.
I don't know where it went, and I'm afraid to go find out because I might lose y'all.
Yeah, no problem. Justin says he doesn't even care for brownies. He just wants to be first at something. We'll send you like a cookie themed.
Does that mean he's
Yeah.
normally last at everything?
I don't know.
If you're not first, you're last.
Right.
I don't know, except for the Amazon game. If you're the last, you're the winner.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Last out makes the most money.
There was an item that I was like around the middle of and made good money on it still, and I found one in my inventory on my crazy shelf over here, and I sent it in, and it's like $10 or $12 more now.
Isn't that
So
nice?
I was
Yeah,
like,
there was
only us
something that I bought. It was some kind of filter. I don't know, for some water bottle that was discontinued, and we know that Shane loves his discontinued items. Yeah, these filters, and it was a package of 3. They were, special filters for these water bottles, and I had picked them up when I started on eBay for $2.50 each at Walmart, and I had just sold a couple here and there, but I mean, I had to mark that price down because I just wanted to get them out of my house, and I had even marked them down to like $2.95 or something ridiculous plus shipping. I was going to end up eating money, and then I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Hey, could you send me 3 of these with free shipping if I pay you this much?" And it just kind of, for some reason, like a bell went off in my head. This was just a couple months ago. And I pulled them out and I scanned them into Amazon, and I was like, son of a bitch. And they were selling in the 20s on Amazon. And I was like, I'll bet you that's somebody like Shane that goes onto eBay and is looking for low dollar items to flip on Amazon. So I ended up sending mine. I think I only had like 8. I sent them into the warehouse, and I was like, hallelujah. Yep. I made some cash, and those bad boys sold fast.
Yeah.
Well, and people don't know that. Like, I love going to Walmart in January or the end of January and buying all the clearance Christmas toys, and I just hold them.
Yeah, I've changed over my business model over the last couple of months that things I get on clearance at Walmart, I'm like, I'm not putting the money out unless if I'm willing to hold it.
Well, and I don't even buy clearance toys, but I went last year and bought like $1,400 in clearance toys. And I got these mushy things. They were the blind
that your daughter loves.
And they were unicorn shakes. And they were like 50 cents to $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up like 150 of them. And I just said, I know these are going to be good. They had a killer rank.
I cannot wait till January clearance.
They
I'm
were like
about that.
50 cents in profit. I held them until June, sent them in, and was making $15 per 2-pack on them.
Mm-hmm. Not surprised.
It's awesome.
Not surprised. I think Amazon's a lot about knowing when to hold and when to send.
Yep.
Which is where those keep-it charts come into play, right, Nate? Those keep-it charts that we love.
Yep.
Because there's items that I have in right now that historically, they've sold in the 90s. And some people are price tanking. They're Spanx, if anybody's interested. It is you have to get ungated for Spanx, but historically they've sold in the 90s, $94.50, and there's some that I have in there now that people are selling as low as $25, and I'm like, really, people? Really? So I'm just holding my price because historically I know that that's where they've sold before.
Well, and the Keepa is like the best thing for Keepa is like if you find a replenishable and Amazon's in on that replenishable, this is the fourth quarter, so this is like the best time to look for outs, which is like when Amazon runs out of stock.
Right.
So Amazon normally has a 4-week lead time, but if they go beyond 4 weeks, there's two things that you have to understand. They're probably not going to replenish, and if they don't replenish, no one's going to sell it. So if they're like 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks out, and they still haven't replenished that thing that they always go in on, they're probably not going to get back in on it.
That's a good tidbit.
It's normally 4 to 5 week lead time. So that's what you got to understand. You know, you can really you can get a lot of info from those Keepa charts.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much to learn from those Keepa charts. Yeah. Full-time FBA has really good information on Keepa charts if anybody wants to learn more. I mean, there's so much more that I could ever teach.
Yeah, bundles is going to be my new thing. I'm going to start looking for after Christmas when I have a little more time and stuff like that.
Mommy Income is really good to follow for bundles.
Okay.
Mommy Income.
Because if you don't have a UPC or whatever, you can buy them on eBay as well. You someone was talking about, I think you could buy like 100 of them for like $10 or something like that, or something.
I think doesn't Amazon? I could be wrong because I haven't done bundles. But I think Amazon has like a preferred network of somebody to buy UPC from.
Yeah,
they referred me to somebody.
Wrong, but I don't want to give you bad information, but
yeah, they referred me to some company. I can't remember. It was a few months ago, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But
if you're going to be doing a lot of bundles, it's per UPC, it's like $3 or whatever it is. It would be well worth it.
Yeah,
not
sure.
So
initially up front, of course, if you're buying 100, that's a big chunk of change. But if that you're going to be doing 300 bundles,
right,
or 100 bundles.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Like, like for me, I'm probably just going to dabble try a couple different things. Because as I'm on Amazon,
Mom does really well with bundles from Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I've sold bundles from Dollar Tree on the dish towels and like bundle a pot holder with a dish towel and stuff like that. And I've done okay on those. Not like huge profit items, but the bundles do like $3-4 profits, so
yeah. Well, Shane and I are on the same page about the Dollar Tree. Is they're generally small products, and you just stick them in with your shipment, and it helps pay for the shipping, to get the rest of your inventory to the warehouse.
Right.
There's one item that I pick up for $1, and I sell 60 of them a month. That's $60 right there for one replenishable from the Dollar Tree.
I crushed it though. I found a book at Dollar Tree last year. It was a Disney book.
Nice.
And so Dollar Tree, what a lot of people don't understand is they buy closeout products. And this book was a Costco product. And they were buying them from Costco, just overstock. And I was buying them for $1, and I was throwing them in FBA used and selling them for like $16 to $17.99.
Sweet.
And it sold every single time it hit the warehouse.
Sweet. Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions for you. When you buy your books from Dollar Tree, do you send them as used?
Every time, yeah.
So you just answered that. Thank you.
You send them used. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I have some books from the Dollar Tree that the prices tanked, so I'm just holding them to see if they rebound. But for $1 investment, if historically it did well before, for $1 investment, you have 3 or 4 of them. Why not? It's not like they take up too much space.
Here's a question for you guys. Have you noticed that Amazon sometimes takes a while to ship something once it's like showing ordered on your app?
Yeah. A lot of times it's related to how quickly does the customer pay.
Okay, gotcha.
Or their option of shipment too. Sometimes they can go with the slower shipping of an item, or if it's in back order. Like if you have inventory that just hit the warehouse and then has to go all over.
That's a good point.
It will sit there until either they can intercept it and ship it out or whatever, or it has to get to its final landing spot. Then they pull it, then they ship it. So you might have things on there. I've had things on there. It's at a month. and I don't know if it's because of payment or what, they don't tell you. And if you go to your canceled or pending, you can see if the canceled is how the orders that dropped off, or if it's pending still, it's possibly still could get sold, or it's still it's pending to get sold, I should say.
Yeah, another thing too is customers can choose a date to have it delivered if they want. I don't know if it's on all products, but I do know, that there's some products they can. And so, the customer might be out of town or something, might not be back till, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So they might, say, hey, deliver it then. But yeah, if you have any particular questions, I've done it before. Just, do you know how to message seller service or seller support, Anthony?
I just message Nate, so not really.
Okay, well, if you ever want help to message seller support, just give me a holler.
I will.
It took me a while to figure it out, especially as a new seller. I'm freaking out, going, "Oh my god!" Like one of my stories is the very first shipment that I sent in to Amazon. They freaking lost the shipment, and it's like I just sent out hundreds of dollars of inventory, and it went where? Like it was showing nowhere. It was showing that it was received, and that was it. And I had no idea what to do, and I didn't know how to contact Seller Central. And my friend Lou Hustles, thank God I had his number, calling him freaking out. But yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to contact them.
I want to say this. I prefer Amazon lose all my shipments because then you get reimbursed and then you don't pay taxes.
Yeah, but as a new seller, though, you're like, oh my god,
no tax.
You don't understand.
You get a free payment.
Yeah, and then when I contacted them, of course, they're like, send us your invoices. I'm like, what invoices? I don't have invoices. I have receipts. And Lou's like, receipts are fine. Receipts are fine. Thank God,
That's funny.
That was the quickest flip in the history of Amazon. A whole case or multiple cases is lost.
It was crazy.
Perfect day. That would be like the best day ever. It'd be like, time to go.
Now I'd be like, woohoo! Don't have to wait for that stuff to sell. Don't have to be worrying about that and keeping up with the repricer and all that other stuff.
Yeah, because the only thing you'd have to do is just wait for it's like 30 to 45 days for them to process your reimbursement payment. And
I don't even know if it's that long.
Sometimes it's not. See, I use that third party company called Seller Bench, and so with them, I get my payments like 10 days or so because they will like set the ticket up and send it to Amazon saying, "Hey, we need this payment. We need this payment. We need this payment." And they have a law firm and everything that manages stuff, so Amazon tends to pay out pretty quick when you use them.
I'll have to look into that again.
It's literally they just take a percentage of whatever they get you. Like you don't pay anything up front, like 25%.
Do they help you with inventory that you've received back damaged?
Everything.
Yep, they do that. I think they do shipping weights too. They look into.
Yeah, they look into everything that they can get you a reimbursement on. They look into it. Anything possible.
Yeah, with the shipping weights, I have like back to those Spanx actually. I have they're all little because they fit in tiny poly bags, and then I have one that the metrics or the cubic foot or whatever is like way out of whack, and I've messaged them on that. So I just messaged them the other day. I haven't heard back yet.
Yeah, I've been using Seller Bench for 4 or 5 months, about 5 months, and everything's been good.
Good.
But you got to be careful. A lot of those companies, when you use them, you hear people getting suspended, and it happens because what happens is those companies will have bots, and they just attack Amazon with all these things and open up all these tickets. Well, Seller Bench, it's actually real people, and you get an account manager, and he manages your account and sends in the reimbursement. So it's actually a real person doing it.
Gotcha.
And they have a really great reputation in the Amazon community.
Yeah, I might have to get that. I've been thinking about it and not.
It's good, dude. And guess what? Like when you set it up, it'll assess your account. So it took 3 days for it to read my account for the initial setup, and I had $35 in reimbursements to get like right off the bat.
Yeah, right now I have $56.97 for things that were lost or damaged in FBA warehouse.
Yeah, you need to get Seller Bench set up, man, and just get that initial setup going, and you'll be golden. It takes the issue out of you doing it. You don't have to look at all your shipments and see if they've all been received, and takes all the hassle out of it.
Yeah, because Amazon, there's a lot of back office work that goes into it. You know, I mean, everybody talks about, you know, you ship it in and, you know, they kind of give you the feeling you just ship it to the warehouse and you forget it. You don't. Yeah. You know, every day I'm, you know, checking my inventory, whether it's a price alert or stranded inventory or what does, you know, what needs restocked, you know, things like that. And, you know, what you're saying, Shane, is, you know, that, you know, there's, you know, with the reimbursements, it's a whole other level, especially trying to figure out how to get reimbursed if you know there's an issue.
Yeah, and well, and the thing is like they take 25% of whatever they get you, and they draft it out of your bank account, and then they give you and then you get the reimbursement. So it's
you're like outsourcing.
Yeah, and it's like for 25%, I'm not going to see that money anyway because I'm not going to go after the reimbursement. So it's either pay the 25% and get the reimbursements or not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, I just signed up and set up my account with it just now.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I just
they'll ask you in the next couple steps, like after they approve it, they'll ask you like for your bank account stuff, and then they'll put in like 2 deposits in your bank account, and then you just got to confirm the deposits to set it up.
Yeah, I just did I did the one step where I had to add my case manager to my thing.
Your token. Yep.
Yeah.
You won't be sorry, man. It's a good service. It really is.
Yeah, like, you know, especially with me, like I just don't have time to dive in on stuff like that. You know what I mean? And really research it. So a little bit of fee, you know, we talk about a lot of, you know, let's talk about like, you know, how much is your time worth, and you know, is it worth paying, you know, X amount for things that would save you time? Where for me, I mean, you know, it is, because, you know, I do so much with eBay and Amazon together, you know, on top of my job and everything else. It makes it so tough. So, you know, having something that's going to have my back, that's the main thing. Like, it's going to be there and whisper nice things in my ear that everything will be okay and
give you
send me money. Right. Exactly. Like, I don't have to be on top of things and look at reimbursement stuff and count the days down. Like, okay, this person didn't send this back. Can I get paid now?
Right.
You know what I mean? I have these people. So, and
I try to log into Seller Bench like once a month, or about once a week maybe, because they will ask you questions in your toolbar, like, hey, who gave this refund? Did you give this refund, or did Amazon give this refund? And they will ask you questions, and then you just answer them for the week, and then they start more reimbursements.
Do you think that Amazon will ever start blocking like the repricers and like all of these outside things that people use to kind of get an advantage?
No, they make money off of them. Okay. I guarantee you those companies have to pay Amazon to connect to their API.
My theory is that you know, Amazon always wants to be the lowest price. They, you know, it's always customer first, right? So they always, you know, want the lowest price for the customer. And so having repricers it creates competition.
Yep.
You know, otherwise, honestly, I might just go in and set a price and leave it and forget it for a year.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
You know, so it creates a lot of competition.
Yeah, I just don't think they will. Repricers have been around on Amazon since the dawn of FBA existence. I mean, as soon as FBA was created, companies started jumping on, let's sell a repricing service, let's sell this service. Now it's evolved a lot, because back in the day, to get ungated, people were like just making invoices up and getting ungated. Now they will suspend you for life if you do that. But back in the day, it was like the medieval times when FBA first started, and now it's evolved a lot, you know?
Yeah, plus Amazon uses a repricer too, really. I mean, if you think about it,
if you knock
down your price below an Amazon price, here they come with the with
Yeah.
the price
I'm
smash.
sure they have the best repricer of them all.
Right. There's like
that bad boy is busy.
there's called like Price Tanker 101 or 1000.
Dude, if you like drop them a penny and under them, they're like tanking you're like $30 lower than you. Right?
Yeah. Because there was an item I was selling, and the FBA seller was under, which usually is a good sign. Like if it's more than a penny, or if it's like 30 cents or 20 cents or 5 cents, whatever, that's usually a good sign. So I bought an item, sent it in. Next, I looked on the other day, and Amazon decided, hey, I guess Nate sent this in, so we better start, crushing the price. So.
Yeah, do you ever feel like Amazon's out to get you? Like they just pick on you, right? That's the way I feel sometimes. I'm like, leave me alone. They'll send me like 20 price alerts in one day and tank all my prices. And yeah, I'm just like, oh, for the love of God.
I should have sent them an email.
That sometimes.
What's that?
I really think Amazon's out to get you sometimes.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is survival of the fittest. We were talking before the show started about the stamina it takes to stay on Amazon. I really do. I think from the very start of even your application, it's survival of the fittest.
Hey, Destiny.
Hello.
Hey, hi, honey. Let's see your cool mug.
Is that Deadpool?
It sure is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I love Deadpool.
I love Deadpool. Deadpool's awesome.
I love Deadpool too.
I'm drinking my morning tea out of my cup of courage.
I'm drinking Huck's Coffee gas station because I didn't want to make it.
We didn't have to make our coffee. Our daughter made it for us this morning.
Nice.
Not sure if it's too weak or it's too strong. I haven't figured it out yet because she made our cups and it's a little creamerish.
Hey, there is no such thing as too strong of coffee.
There's a lot of creamers, so I'm not sure if it's either way. So
my wife would call my coffee. Sometimes I'd make. She'd call it motor oil.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be that like potent with coffee, and it would look like motor oil.
When my parents come over to my house, they don't drink coffee at my house. They want to go out and get coffee because they say it's too strong. I'm like,
well, in the afternoon, sometimes I'll make myself an iced coffee. And so I'll use whatever's left over from the pot in the morning and, lots of ice and sugar and milk and stuff like that. And then I have, I don't remember the name brand, but it's instant espresso. So I'll take a couple scoops and throw that in there too. Whew, nice pick me up.
yeah, didn't your grandma used to make coffee to where the spoon would stand up?
Yeah, it was like mud, man.
Yeah, the bottom would be the worst. Like it would make my hair on my back just stick out. It would give you that tingle at the end.
Really?
Zing!
That's awesome.
I'd be running around the house packing shipments. Do something crazy in my coffee.
So, Nate, did you put up a comment that we missed?
Someone said that they Kelly said something about she hates when they gate items after your inventory is at the warehouse. I just had a couple things. I guess they went back and looked at some listings and changed the category on some items because I had about 5 items that I sold most of them. I had one lingering that they made me send back and I couldn't get ungated with. And then I actually sent in 10 of an item, which, same thing. I was ungated. They told me to send them back. So,
yeah,
no big deal.
That happened with me with DKNY bras, which are not cheap. I had 3 of them, and I was fine to send them in, and they got there, and they processed them, and they're like, oops, you're gated.
I was selling these toys right here, Power Rippers. I bought them from Ollie's, and I was selling the crap out of them, and the margins were like 45-50%. And they were a little higher rank, and they gated me, and I was selling them for 4 months. They gated me after 4 months, and I had to recall 40 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you recall 40 of them, because I've only had to recall like I think one time, and I can't remember what the cost is. If you can pull 40 of one item or 10 of one item, what do they charge you?
50 cents. 50
50
cents.
cents an item. I thought one time I sent back five in an item or 10 in an item, and they just charged me 50 cents because it was in all in one box.
Nope.
It's 50 cents an item. It used to be 25 cents. And on the show last night, I'm like, oh, it's 25 cents an item. And Lucy was like, no, it's 50. I'm like, when the hell did that go up? Like, they're always changing stuff. And so
Yeah.
I didn't even know that
It's
changed.
been a while because it's always been 50 cents since I've been doing it since January. So it's been a while. And it's 15 cents to have it destroyed now.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I swear I had one item that they sent 5. It was like, I don't know if it was a glitch and just went through or what, but I swear it was only charged me 50 cents one time on
Maybe you got off easy. Maybe you got off easy on that.
Told Amazon they better fear the beard.
Don't say anything. Alexa's gonna hear you.
Oh no. Unplug.
I want one of those.
My parents
my
have one. They're pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2, and then we're talking about getting the one with the with the big screen that you basically have like some of like video conference calls on or whatever. Yeah. We're talking about getting that too.
Yeah.
We do so many like we do with you could use it I believe with like YouTube and stuff as well, and if you're doing like chats like me and my wife talking like while I'm at work and stuff like that, she can use it as she's cooking or doing whatever she's doing with the kids. So it's like hands free, and I can see what the kids are doing. So
Lisa C, I want to point this out. She says that's why Amazon makes me queasy at times. I'm not totally the master of my own domain.
Mm-hmm.
So let me kind of explain this. You're not, and Amazon puts that up front. Now the difference is on eBay, you're still not the master of your own domain, but they make you think that you are. So that's the difference. They're just upfront about it. Yeah.
Yes, they are Amazon's customers. They are not yours. But I did notice, though, when an Amazon customer damages your item, somehow it suddenly becomes your customer because you have to eat the cost of that.
right.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't had too much. I'm knock on wood. I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had too much, stuff that was damaged or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I did, I just sold it on eBay. But
yeah, I have somebody sent back, a package of like 5 razors, and of course they returned 4 of them. It's like things like that you're like, okay, somebody just took out the one, really, and it's, but as the seller, I gotta eat that cost.
like even as a someone who's just trying to get free stuff or whatever, just having to go through that process just for one razor would not be worth it. Oh man.
Yeah. Or somebody like just returned a bra to me, and it, they had broken the strap. I'm like, seriously, the tag's still on
for
it.
a few days, and they're like, here you go. Eric Bischoff asked if I have. He says they said Eric says Shane have a college degree ? How did he get into reselling? So I have a bachelor's in criminal law and an associate's in criminal justice, and then I'm about. If I wanted to go back to school, I'd be about 15 to 20 semester hours away from a master's degree. But I won't.
Do it, Shane. Do it. You're so close.
No, I won't go back. But
that's like me saying I want to go back to being a nurse.
I know. I spent so here's kind of like how I got into reselling. I spent 2 or 3 years in law enforcement. I spent 10 years in corporate retail and asset protection. And when I first started out going to school, I was working in a factory and got laid off. So I started buying storage units full time. Didn't even know it was a thing back then. I was just doing it for money and was selling stuff on eBay. And so since 2005-ish, I've sold off and on eBay. And about 5 years ago, I had a really crappy corporate retail job. And we were really, actually probably a little bit more than that now. We were really like upside down in debt, had a lot of debt. And so I started like hitting reselling hard and then got into the community from there. It was probably about 7 years ago now. But
other person's Lady Lux Junk said she's frustrated with FBA. Why is it so hard? I feel dumb. Let me find the other
Absolutely.
part of her.
I feel you. How long have you been doing it?
Here's the other part of it. She lost inventory. How the heck do you figure out what they will reimburse you? It didn't even cover my cost of purchase.
Right.
I mean, from what I've had experience with, they would, like, if I had something that went straight to the, I'm shipping it, goes to the warehouse and it gets damaged or whatever, they reimburse me for my cost of the item that I would set at, at the time of it getting damaged. That's usually why I send stuff in with my repricer. I'll set it up a little bit higher than where I think it's going to be sold at or whatever, and then I put in my minimum maximum price for my repricer. So once it hits the warehouse or whatever, the reimbursement fee will be higher because I set my initial price higher. So I kind of finagle the system like that sometimes.
That's a good idea.
I do the same thing when
I don't know how they
in.
figure out how much they're going to reimburse you. It's, I think, whatever the market value is.
Yeah, they're supposed to take the cost of, like, it's kind of a deduction of, like, what the price is currently at and what you sent your merchandise in at. Lady Luck Junk, if you need anything or have any questions, contact me. I met her at eBay Open in person. She's an awesome person.
Yeah.
Very, very awesome.
Yeah, and she said that she's only been selling since February, so I've been in since January, and I totally feel you because there's some days I just feel dumb. I really do. And I'm like, I have a couple degrees and everything, and I'm like, I am just not that stupid. Am I really that stupid?
Here's another question for you, Shane.
Again, survival of the fittest is my philosophy for Amazon.
So I worked in the Chicago district, and I worked 2.5 years at Target. I worked in the Chicago district, and it was, oh man, it wasn't that long ago. It was probably in the last 4 years. So I was in the Chicago district for the first year, and our region realigned, and then we were in the St. Louis, Missouri district for the other year and a few months I was there.
She said they're selling for $73. They lost $4 on refund or $27.
That's crazy.
Son of a beeswax.
I would call them. I would call customer service and explain to them, look, these are selling at $73.
Yeah.
I sent them in. You guys got to do better than $27 a piece, or I hope it's not for all four. If that's what you meant.
Hey, but that's why I use Seller Bench, because they fight for that stuff.
Yeah, I just signed up, so I'm just waiting for some deposits to come through, and I'll be fully functional with them.
Lady Luck Junk, I would 100% recommend Seller Bench signing up just so you don't have to deal with this crap. And if they can't get it for you, then you take the L and move on. But that's companies like that are built to help you get your fullest reimbursement possible.
Yeah, they don't make money unless if you get reimbursed.
And Amazon has been known to shortchange people. They've been known to not pay people reimbursements. They've
Steal
been
inventory.
Like it happens.
Now, I just started Seller Bench now. How far back will they go back and look?
I think it's like a year.
Oh, well, I'm covered all the way then. Awesome.
I think you're covered all the way. I think it's almost up to a year. Yeah, I think you're covered all the way.
Bombastic, very fantastic.
But remind me when you started Amazon.
January, middle of January.
Okay, so we're on the same timeline.
Yeah, I think it was either the 15th or the 22nd, something like that. I started at the end of the month, like towards the end of the month.
But Nate, you'll have to leave your computer running for a while because it took like 2 or 3 days for them to actually access my whole account. So they just went through and they have these things that they have to not access, but they have to read. And it took like 2 or 3 days for them to like initially read everything.
All the data. They did that. Like I initially looked into having them do this like a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I went through that process of them, basically having to go back to me. So that process should be over, or they just have to do a smaller batch because it's not the whole period.
You should be good.
Nice.
Don't give up.
Tom.
Don't give up, lady luck junk. It gets easier. There's people like us that will help you and make sure. She said for all 4, she got $27.
Damn.
You know what? I quit Amazon because I was fed up. Keep that in mind. I quit.
But you started again. You got back in the saddle. You went through a funk for how long? A year and a half or something?
A year and a half, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like with me, like with the reimbursement things, like I'm pretty, I always check my accounts, look at all my stuff, make sure that, I do get paid back. A lot of it for me, wanting to use seller bench is the shipping end of it, the weights and stuff like that to make sure it's right. And someone, Merch Fulfill isn't just messing with some of the weights after I send it in or whatever. So this way they have an advantage over me because they know that the higher that price is or the bigger the item is, the more fees it's going to cost me. So I'm not able to make as much money or
I never thought about that before. That's a good point.
That's part of the reason why I want to have them kick in and look at stuff. And it kind of, it just gives me, I like things that at the end of the day, they have my back. Like I said, like they basically making sure that, hey, I got this covered plus all this other stuff. So if it costs 25% or 20 or 25% of whatever, all that covers, it's well worth it because first of all, they're going to make sure that I get all my money where on some things I might not even get it.
Yep.
So that payment of that stuff is going to get covered by just a couple things that, that get taken.
And that 25% is tax write-off.
Yeah. 100%.
So you're getting your money back either way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, because Amazon doesn't have your back. Somebody's gotta.
Right.
Seller bench, you take their 25% fee and you tax it and you write it off on your taxes, and then you're saving what you're paying in. So it's kind of you're kind of getting that back on the back end anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just not in cash form.
Yep. And when you sell on Amazon, you gotta have stuff to take write-offs because if you don't, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Right. I know Anthony and Tommy's new into the Amazon game. You guys, I'm sure you guys have a couple things you might want to ask or questions or whatever.
Well, I'm so new, I haven't even sourced product for it yet. So I'm just absorbing. I just got the approval. I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff and then, with my luck, for some reason, not get approved. So.
Oh, you got approved?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yep. I'm all set to go. Now I just got to go source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With me, I'm just still trying to find like pretty much my footing. Like I haven't found like at least I don't think Nate knows what I'm selling. Like I don't think I found like a solid replenishable yet or anything like that. So I'm just kind of getting my feet wet with like learning what I can and can't sell, and pretty much like I haven't been like instantly ungated for anything yet either. I've tried and I keep getting you need to have some kind of an invoice. But what I plan to do is with my next because I've taken out a PayPal working capital loan to help me scale my eBay business, which is working great. I'm like about halfway paid off with it now.
Good.
I haven't made any like extra payments. It's just out of like the 15% of my sales. My next one I'm actually going to take out to get into some wholesale to help me get ungated and different Amazon stuff, and to also kind of continue to bolster what I'm doing on eBay as well. So I plan to start a second a niche store on eBay as well for like trading cards and Pokemon, that kind of stuff. Just because I've done really well selling that stuff online, and my inventory is pretty much depleted at this point. And without going and being able to source like the yard sales and stuff for that right now, it's getting a little farther and fewer between. But I know I can basically buy the stuff at wholesale, crack open all the boxes and sell stuff, and I know pretty much the going rate on all that stuff. So I'm going to do that wholesale, but I'm also going to use probably half of it to start getting some wholesale contracts for Amazon as well.
Good for you. That sounds like an awesome
Are
plan.
you selling used books as well?
You know what? I really haven't gotten into the used books yet. I plan to, though.
Yeah. Good.
Full transparency, I've pretty much just been sourcing, like Walmart, Target, Dollar Tree.
When you start out, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
When you do get into books, take Shane's advice, because I did not do well in books. Take Shane's advice for Scout IQ. I think that's the name of it, right?
Yep.
Is that the one Craig made?
No, that's
that goes with
a guy named Caleb Roth made it.
Okay.
And it's just for scanning books.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's I would have done much better had I used that tool.
Sciota Sales asks, she said, I asked Tiffany, but Shane, what do you do when you are sourcing and the product is in an odd category that doesn't normally show up? All right. So a couple different methods you could do. Amazon's not against secondary listings. So you can make a secondary listing and put that secondary listing in the right category. Or here's what I like to do. You can set up a ticket and tell them it's in the wrong category and why, and Amazon has to move it.
Yep.
I did that with the light bulbs I sourced. So I bought all these light bulbs last year and I got so much grief. People are like, you're going to be stuck with those. You're an idiot. Like, I got so much grief for them. Well, they were a 500,000 rank light bulb. They were in the arts and crafts category. So I bought 300 packages or 400 packages. I sent them all in. And then I changed the category through the Seller Central, set up a ticket into lighting. And as soon as I changed the category, half of the people on the listing got suspended. Or not suspended. They couldn't sell the product. They got restricted because a lot of people are restricted in lighting.
That almost happened to me. I sold the exact light bulbs you're talking about.
That light bulb that I did that with became the #1 listing on Amazon. So it went from 500,000 rank to the #1 listing in lighting on Amazon.
Yeah, you even need to be careful with the sub categories. Like I have ladies workout shorts, and they're in under denim shorts, and nobody's gonna freaking find them.
But those light bulbs.
So it's like then you have to go through and change it over.
Those light bulbs were selling like crazy. Like I made a ton of money off that, and it was just a good buy. But you got to kind of look at like the whole story, why an item isn't selling, why the rank is the way it is, and will it get better if you do this change?
Yeah, it was funny because I bought that was my first big score buy, right? I went to Anthony's Walmart out in Tarentum. I found 40 or 50 light bulbs. So I sent them in, one sold. So I'm like, yes, like this is when I'm first new. So getting a sale was big to me like back then. So I got one sold. So I'm like, good, I'm going to start selling the rest of them. Next you know, like I'm at work or I'm just walking into work. I click on to check the price or whatever. And after the one sold, it said, it brought up the dogs when I clicked the link to check the thing. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? So I called seller support. I'm like,
hey, I apologize for that, man.
Yeah. So I called up and they're like, oh, well, we had to fix the listing, so on and so forth. And I was like, it says I need qualifications to sell it. So like, yeah, you need to send an invoice or whatever. So I sent them the Walmart receipt because I'm new. I just figured, what the heck, I'll try.
Did it work?
It worked.
Dude,
Good for you.
I sold all those light bulbs. And I don't know if I just got someone that was new at Amazon or it was luck or whatever, but
sometimes that does work. If they ask for an invoice, the receipt sometimes works.
Yeah, it was a Walmart
I tried
receipt.
that one time. It didn't work for me, so it doesn't always work.
It was 40 light bulbs, all in one receipt by itself. Like I made sure to I was really strict on my personal versus that, because if
Mhm.
I had a feeling that something was going to happen with these things, because not that I didn't trust your information, but I figured, okay, there's 40 people on this listing. Something's going to happen to this or whatever. My luck, like, so I better have my ducks in a row and make sure my, you know, my receipts or whatever. So, but yeah, that was one of my first good scores that that I had, and that was, you know, one of the items that you told us about. I don't know if I was in the Patreon or was if it was in the
That was
just
right
on a
before.
video.
Yeah, it was just I put out a video on it and people are going crazy buying them. But see, I did that and I had already sent them in, so I was like, you know, if people come in and they tank, I don't care. It's the #1 listing in lighting. Like, and it took a while because when I sent them in and it changed, people started tanking the price. So I'm like, watch this, and I tanked it all the way down to like $8 a box, and there was like 10 people that followed. Well, I went back up on the price.
Yeah, I did too.
All sold out.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
So
yeah,
literally,
I got $13.99 for mine or something like
the
that.
price rebounded after like 24 hours, and it started just selling like mad fire.
Yeah, I wish I knew about what was that AMZ Scout stock that I heard about on Marcy's channel the other day. That was one of the first. I watched a couple of videos before that, but that was one of the first videos I watched of her, and I got that information. For anybody who does Amazon, make sure and check that out. It's a Chrome extension. It will show you everyone's stock, which is amazing, because then you can know, you know, if one person is tanking the price or just keeps tanking the price on you, and they have one item, let that item sell and keep your, you know, price high or whatever, and make that extra money, you know.
Yeah, or if they have 168, you're like, well, maybe I need to follow them down.
Right, because then, you know, you're at a war against them, and they have all the ammunition, and you only have X amount of product less than them. So, you know, you might want to sell before them, especially if it's an item that might get 5 or 6 sales, you know, a month or whatever, where they got 200 of a product. You'll never, you know, sell yours before that or after them, or you'll, you know, take years or whatever. So
it's a free Chrome extension, AMZ Scout stock. Right?
Yeah, I actually was an affiliate for that company when they first started like a year ago, and that stock spy stock scouter thing, it is amazing. Like, you can even see what Amazon has, so it's good to even check on Amazon.com and see what they have.
Yeah, if they have over 999, chances are it's more than that. So don't buy that item.
Don't buy it.
Yeah, because that means they have a heck ton more than that, probably.
Yeah. Drummer said AMZ Scout is excellent. Thanks, M. You're welcome.
Yeah, that was where buying those light bulbs.
Changer.
Buying those light bulbs was basically like my light bulb of just seeing the greatness of Amazon. You know what I mean? Because, Anthony, if you would have listed 40 light bulbs on eBay, even at a good price that was cheaper than Walmart, how long would them probably would have sold? It would have took probably months to sell. So that's why, like, I tell a lot of people when they're sourcing for Amazon, don't always look at, you know, the prices or different things or seasonal. Look at stuff that's everyday stuff that people will buy no matter what the season is, what the day is, you know, what the weather is like, just what, you know, just common stuff that you use in your household. Walk around your household, look for products, and then if you see those products at either like a clearance deal or, you know, or just maybe even a regular price at a discount location, check those out, scan those out.
You know, you just Nate, you just said, you know, walk around your house and see what, you know, what's there. You know, what are you thinking about? You know, what do you need? Which actually brings up a thought of scan the items that are in your house. Go in your pantry and scan things. You know, and if you're gated in something, apply to get ungated in it, for example, or, you know, see if, you know, like last year I had Hershey's cocoa that was, I mean, I don't know. I made some ridiculous money on Hershey's cocoa because it was expensive on Amazon, you know? So I just went to the store and bought more Hershey's cocoa. So, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
the other
You know,
day,
things like that, you know, go in your, you know, if you want to get ungated in health and beauty, go into your bathroom and start scanning all your shampoos and, you know, conditioners and all of that other stuff once a week. And eventually the algorithm will get the clue that you want to sell that product.
Yep. Well, another day, Marcy, you know, we were talking after a show one day, and she's like, I'm kind of stuck. Like, I don't know what, like, you know, she's like, I know what to do, but she's like, I'm having trouble finding some products. And I'm like, go back to the drawing board and just go scan.
Yep.
And like, I get stuck too. Like, I get stuck on a daily basis. And then it's time to wake up and say, I'm going to go to a store that I've never been to before, and I'm going to scan the entire freaking store. And until I find 5 products that I can sell, I am not leaving that store.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to stay there all day, I will. I don't care.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was for those listening in. Actually, I'm going to be putting out a video a little later, but I was in a bad funk for a month and a half. And, you know, Shane, you know, gave me a nice kick in the ass like he always does. And it's like, well, got to go back to the basics, you know, and that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And it's really turned things around. So if anybody needs a swift kick in the ass, call Shane. That's what I do.
Like that. Like I was trying to find, you know, some items that would have the higher velocity, maybe not like the highest like sell price like per item, but I thought maybe that was why I was having a little bit of issues, maybe getting ungated in some different categories or with different products, because, you know, my sales have been pretty steady, you know, anywhere from my lowest probably 4,000 to like 7,000 or 8,000 a month that I do on Amazon, you know. So, you know, there's a little bit of fluctuation, but usually it stays in the middle range of that for the most part. So I was sitting back thinking to myself, maybe I need to have a higher amount of sales for them to think, okay, this guy should be ungated and more stuff. So, like, that's what I did. I thought about some things that people use every day, you know, and just went sourcing and scanning things. And, you know, I found an item that I sent in 12 of, sold right away. And then Amazon said, we recommend you send in 82 of this item. So
wow.
I sent in 82 of that item. And then I found another item that was similar. I sent in 12. And then when they said that similar item, 82, they told me 26 of that one. So now I have 100 items that will sell very quickly out of 2 things that I just found to add into. Now, it's not really a replenishable. There is, you know, stock of this item at a couple different places, but, you know, I just have to go to a couple stores and find them, or so I can make, you know, really good money on them. But, you know, it's the stuff's out there. You know, you just have to just think a little bit different. Sometimes we as resellers have to sit back and really, you know, think of, you know, especially on Amazon, like the stuff that, you know, we look for that we want to find as replenishables is just basic, easy things, and we're overthinking things. You know what I mean? We're really thinking clearance, this, that. It could be an item on the shelf that, you know, one other person is thinking about on Amazon, making a killing on as a everyday regular price at Walmart. You know what I mean? So
have you found when Amazon will come out and it'll suggest, hey, go out and send X amount more? Typically that stuff always sells?
No.
Not always. It just depends on the rank. Yeah. See, here's what I like to do. When I find like an item that no one's on, it's a really high rank, and even if it's a grocery item, I do a test buy.
Okay.
I'll buy 2 or 3 and I'll send them in and I'll see how fast they sell.
Okay.
Well, I got kind of caught up in a bad product by doing that. And sometimes you do, but not really a bad, just slower selling. I found a bag of sugar that I sold and bought two of them or 3, or I bought like 4 of them as a test buy, and I sold them for $27.99 a piece. And I'm like, holy cow. and I bought 40 of them and sent them in. And I have 20 left, and it's been 3 months ago. So
They're going to expire.
no, they had a long shelf life, but it's one of those things where I just do a test buy.
Yeah, I look in and see like how many of that item did I sell over the last month, and I keep a back stock on a lot of my replenishables.
Yeah,
and then,
so
I'll drop a few in a shipment, each time, or, whatever. But the other thing too is, looking at the recommended amount that you send in, you have to take seasonality into consideration. That's a big thing.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like if it's a seasonal item, like if it's say a Christmas item, if it's getting close to like if it's after the first week of December, you don't want to send in 80 of that item or whatever, because is 80 of those items going to sell and get to the customer before Christmas? That's that's things that you have to think about.
Or how many other sellers are on the listing, and how quickly is it selling per month? Which all goes back into the the Amazon scout stocks and your keep it charts, and that's where all that product research comes into play.
Pearl Nini asks, and what does scanning tell you what to do? Question mark. So scanning, like when you're going into a store, you're putting the Amazon seller app and you're scanning products, you're looking at the rank. Amazon's a little bit different.
Scan the UPC.
Amazon's a little bit different than eBay. With Amazon, you do all your due diligence and your product research on the front end. On eBay, you do it on the back end. So you do it while you list, after you buy the item, because you researched it a little bit. And so Amazon's just opposite. You're researching and doing all your analysis in the store instead of when you list it sitting down on your computer.
Right. Like with eBay, it's about really what you bought it at too. Like if you can buy, I don't know, just say like a catcher's mitt for $1 or 50 cents, no matter what, that as long as it's in decent shape, that's going to sell. But the question is, might not know what it's going to sell for sure, but that it will sell. You can get money out of it. So you buy it, you take it home, you list it, or you do your comps, then you list it, and you go, okay, well I can get $20 for it. So then you list it $20. But when you're doing Amazon, you're in the store and you're basically like, if I buy it at this price or what it's going for right now, am I happy with this price? Can I go? How much lower can I go? Because you have to allow for the price tank, and there are prices for someone battling with you, and then you have to figure out how much of the item sells a month to do your first initial test buy. Like sometimes I'll do, like I've done this with Anthony. Like we went and sourced. I do the buy two method. I'll buy two of an item that maybe has a little bit higher of a ranking, or maybe there's not too many people on it, and I send two in. And if one sells, that's a good sign. If the second one sells relatively quick after that, then I can go buy 10 of that item and send it in. You know what I mean? That's like I do my research with Keep and everything as well, but sometimes you just need to double check that and make sure that it is going to sell right away, or maybe it could be just the price of what it's at or whatever that is why it's not selling.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or if the rank's high, is it because they're out of stock?
Right. Like a lot of times I'll find stuff that there's no FBA. You know what I mean? And I love when that happens, because chances are it's just because there's no FBA.
Right.
And some people don't want to wait for stuff, or they feel like if it's not coming from Fulfilled by Amazon, that for some reason it's going to be like a different product or something. I don't know, but
yeah, or they just move on to something similar that they can get quicker.
Right. Like I bought a product that was like I think it was in like the 2 million range of home and goods, which home and goods is a big category. So even at 2 million, that's not bad. There was no FBA. So I bought two, I sent it in, and I was able to buy 20 after my test buy because they sold really, really quick. And I was able to even go above the first merch fulfill price, because FBA is a premium, and I will get the buy box, regardless, basically, depending on how much I go above FBA or merch fulfill. So, mine were, those two items went out. I had 20 more, sent them in, and they sold, really quick. Then my luck, the stock ran out in the store. So,
Well, and
couldn't get
here's
anymore.
the thing: is like I focus on buying top 10% or below the category. So a lot of people don't do that, but like you have like a lot of YouTubers out there that'll say like only buy 100,000, 100,000 or lower. And I've seen several YouTube content creators with Amazon that are newer. I'm not going to mention their names, but like they're out there making videos and they just came into the limelight like last year when RA got popular, and they're like only buy 100,000 or less. Well, you can't do that because in different categories that rank holds different weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
in grocery, that there's only 1.1 million ASINs in grocery. 100,000 is going to be top 10%. You're going to want to buy below 100,000 rank in that. You're probably
Right.
below 90,000. Versus like Nate, like what you said, in home goods, it's a huge category. 1 million is top 10%.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
actually 1 million's top 1%.
Right.
So it'd be 10 million's top 10%.
Mm-hmm. Or even like in clothing, I have clothing in there that's, ranked in 3 million, but it's just, me and 2 other sellers, and the other 2 sellers are FBM, for example. So, I sell through my stuff. It just, the ranks, I'm more comfortable with higher ranks because, I just look at the other aspects.
So I have 2 newbie questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Number one, what are some of the best places to go and find books to kind of get my feet wet with scanning the books and with the Scout IQ and everything like that. Nate might even have some like inside feedback because he kind of knows the area where I live, but just what are some, like, obviously, like, I'm guessing Goodwills, Ollie's, those type of places, but like what are some places you can get stuff like dirt cheap?
I go to book sales, and you can go
Okay.
to booksalefinder.com.
Okay.
And it'll give you every single book sale in the country.
That's
And almost like a year in advance, almost, or like to the end of the year.
Move that up right
The
now.
second thing of what I did when I first started selling books is I found a thrift store in my area that was a local thrift store that got a ton of book donations. I met with the manager, and I got exclusive rights to scan the entire back room. I was scanning 5 to 6 Gaylords a week of books out of their back room because they just sent it to recycling. They didn't even put them on the shelf.
Wow.
I did that for about 7 months, and then they approached me and they said, "We want you to set up an Amazon warehouse for us for free and train everybody. We don't want to pay you." And I'm like, no. And so I cut ties with them, completely cut ties with them. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
And,
See if you can make friends with the managers. I think that's key. I did that with clothing. And I was able to go to their warehouse and bring home huge bags of clothing that was just sitting in their warehouse. It couldn't even make it to the floor.
But the reason I honed in on them is because I have a college, the University of Illinois.
Yeah.
They do not buy back their textbooks. So I said, well, what do the students do with them? Well, half of them leave them in boxes on the curbs. So I go around when the students move out, pick up the boxes of books and put them in my car for free. The other half is they donate them, and you got to locate which thrift store they donate them to. And then you have to hone in on how they get rid of their books.
Go talk to some students and see what they do. That's an idea.
Oh, and I also run ads, and they'll sell them to me for beer money. So
that's cool.
Also, I mean, like even Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could find, really good textbooks, right, from the source like that as well.
So if you have a college near you, call that college and say, hey, do you buy back student textbooks? And if they say no, you're golden.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your other question, Anthony?
The other question was, how do you guys find, and with I know that there's a lot you can't say, but what as a new reseller, or not reseller, but Amazon seller, what's the best way to find replenishables?
Scan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just scan.
I
like stores
go to a store that you know is solid, like
Okay.
I hate to keep using Walmart, but it's
Yeah.
a good example. Walmart, generally always has the same inventory, and it's generally always in stock. Or your grocery store that's the same. That is a really solid source, and just scan.
Yep.
A good place for you to check out, which is really I think it's right in your area, would be not Costco, but the other one,
Sam's.
Aldi?
Sam's.
Oh,
Or Sam's Club would be a great place to get. I was thinking about getting a pass or whatever. So that's
I've had a
something you
little
could
luck
do.
with Sam's, not a lot.
I have a pass with Sam's.
Do you have luck there, Shane?
It's hit or miss.
I've gotten some of their clothing items.
Now I will say, in the fourth quarter, Sam's is good.
Yeah.
I found a board game there last year that was selling for like $100 and some plus for like
wow.
$15. And
I think I need to go to Sam's tomorrow.
And then they had the Dymos last year.
Sam's is a bolo.
They had like the Dymo 4XL sets last year.
Yeah.
$90.
I was trying to get some of them.
Yeah.
And they were sold out everywhere. And I couldn't get any of them to hold them for me.
But if you could find them, man, you can sell those. Oh man, they were so good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
I ended up buying it off of Amazon, probably from somebody who went and did that.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Reseller Mom recently mentioned last week that Dymos were on sale on Amazon. I don't know where the price is now, but if anybody's looking for Dymo, go on Amazon and see. They were down to $50, I think.
Wow.
I don't remember which model it was, but one of them that she showed me was down to $50.
It's probably
I always keep 2
450.
4XLs like on hand, so in case one breaks.
Yeah, I love the 4XL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go strictly thermal here shortly. I have a 450 twin turbo, which I'm trying to set up with my labels, soon, and I'm gonna probably get a Rollo, I think, for my shipping labels. I really like the how it's set up, and it sort of runs like my work thermal, so I could set that up pretty nicely.
Yeah, I have the Dymo Duo, it's called. Yeah, Dymo, the 450 Duo. Mm-hmm. So I just use that for my Amazon labels. When I first started, I used the 30 up like everybody else.
Yeah.
And then for my eBay shipping labels, I still use my printer.
Anthony, here is Mike McCloskey. He's a good dude. He comments a lot on my stuff. He gives really great advice. Look for local items people can't get everywhere, like a barbecue sauce or a seasoning.
Old Bay seasoning.
Something that is local to your area.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
And if it's not on Amazon,
anyway, just because I'm obsessed with Pittsburgh.
And if it's not on Amazon, make the listing and try to sell it.
Yeah, that's the other thing I need to learn is how to create listings and how to make bundles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've created some listings before. They're time intensive, and it's hard too because if your item doesn't sell, you don't know, is it because my listing's bad or did I just source a bad item? Or my price too high, things like that. So it's nothing's tested.
It's a little harder to do an Amazon listing from scratch than it is an eBay listing because the picture has to be on a white, perfect, like on a white background.
Your title has to be just right.
And, you have to have all the information,
your bullet points.
Like the size of the item, how much it weighs. Just your description, your bullet, keywords. Yeah. There's platinum keywords, there's regular keywords. You have to know what type of people possibly would buy this item, if it's kids or if it's adults or female to male. It really gets really deep, and you might think you put in everything that you need, but there might be something that you're missing that's giving it the best chance to be seen by millions and millions of people. Mm-hmm. So I still haven't mastered that yet, or even or feel comfortable to do that yet. part of it's because I just haven't had time to really sit down and just really do one, and that's why when I was talking about earlier, I was looking to possibly do some bundles because, I'll probably put up a bundle and then I'll put up an item that maybe isn't on there and see which one does better and, kind of mess with that.
Yeah, that's one reason why I mentioned Mommy Income earlier for bundles, because they talk a lot about, your quality of listing and keywords, and they go into a lot of that information.
I'm going to have to go subscribe to them because
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever even checked out their channel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I got a question. I know you guys talked a lot about different softwares and applications and extensions and everything. But when you're out in the store, say at Walmart scanning, is there hardware wise, is there anything to make it more efficient? Is the Bluetooth barcode scanners, connected to your phone faster than, your phone scanning? And it seems like it takes forever for my phone to read a barcode, and I've used 2 different phones. I mean, not really forever. It just seems like I wish it was as fast as scanning it with this at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, when you're scanning with the Amazon app, I've noticed actually over the last week or so, it seems to have really slowed down a lot more.
Yeah.
Scanner wars.
But I think it's just because their catalog is so big. It seems to me like with the seller app, it saves battery scanning there, but using Inventory Lab or the Scoutify app on the phone seems to be quicker.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's their catalog, and they're searching for the UPC. You got to search for it, stuff like that. I tell people that normally I don't use a barcode scanner unless I'm doing books, but what I try to do is when I'm trying to scan something, I kind of move the phone around and angle it like this, and it'll usually
sometimes the lighting will mess up,
that's what I noticed I'm doing. I'm
on
always
it or
trying to get that clear and moving the phone in and out to get it to focus. And
I was going to look into a scanner to see if I can quicken up that process.
Is there not? I'm thinking that I've heard about an app or an add-on or something where you can set scan parameters, when you're scanning. I want to be able to make this much profit. Alert me. I can just scan, and then when I hear a tone or a beep,
Scout IQ does that for books. If I'm correct, after Shane's done coughing, I'm sure he'll correct me if I'm not.
That would be Scout IQ, but if you want to use it for other products, people use Profit Bandit.
Profit Bandit.
But I've never used Profit Bandit or nothing. I mean, you can, but I just like to look at the rank and look at the item and look at how many sellers are on it. And that will tell me, do I need to keep a chart this or not? And if I need to keep a chart it, I keep a chart it, and I look at a sales rank chart, and I can make my decision just based off those 2 things.
Yeah, I use the Scoutify, which is linked up with Inventory Lab. So in there, you can set your parameters, where do you want your rank, and it'll color code the rank for you. If it's green, it means, it's definitely within your parameters. If it's red, it's way outside. If it's orange or something, it's in between, something like that. So it'll color code your rank. And then also, or the other thing it'll do too is you can set parameters for your profit. So if you want 100% ROI, for example, and then it'll tell you, your target buy cost for the item. It'll tell you what your profit is after fees. You can set your shipping rates in there. So for example, if it costs you roughly, 50 cents a pound to send to the warehouse, you can set that up in there. So it takes a lot into consideration.
Okay.
I wish there was something that did that, but also would read the tag. So this way you could just go.
Oh, yay, somebody got a cha-ching.
Sale.
Yeah, I just sold a figure on eBay.
Nice. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nate.
I wish there was something that you could scan the barcode and then scan the price tag so that you didn't have to do any input. You know what I mean? You could just scan, and then
that'd be awesome.
You could see everything. So you could just literally go through the store like this.
Mm-hmm.
And just look at your phone just to double check the ranking And if it, you got a green thumb up or a negative, or thumbs down on, if it was it.
Yeah, that would be awesome, literally. And
You could,
it's everybody has a different way to, do product research. And here's the best way to do it. And here's what I did. I listened to a couple people, how they do it. And then I formulated my own way with like a hybrid way, of doing.
Yeah. And then you just always reevaluate how you're doing things and see, what works and doesn't work.
Yep.
I'm sorry, which app that I just talked about was Scoutify? Yeah, Scoutify. Scoutify and Scoutify IQ backwards. Scoutify, which is linked up with Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is a service that you pay for monthly. It's, I think, $50 a month. And you can do so many different things as far as managing your Amazon business from, Scoutify. From creating shipments, which honestly is much more smooth than running them through Seller Central, to creating shipments, to doing your bookkeeping, like it has a profit and loss statement, which I had a really, really hard time keeping up with my my profit and loss before I discovered that. Because there's so many different fees and cost of goods, and when you're, there was, there's some days I just sell a ton, and to try to keep up with cost of goods for all of that is just crazy. So profit and loss is on there. There's it'll even give you a graph for like your break-even point for long-term storage, to help you decide you want to keep it in the warehouse a couple more months to see if it sells during Christmas. I don't know. Shane, help me out. There's so many nooks and crannies with Scoutify or the Scoutify.
Scoutify also, you can set stuff up to where it tells you like where to restock at, stuff like that. I mean, there's just so much. I don't even use half of it. I probably should, but I don't even use half of it. So what is your overhead per month on all of your apps, Keep It, Inventory Lab, etc.?
Let's see. Actually, I have a list here that I just made up. 50, 75, about 100 a month.
Mine's about 350 a month.
Yeah, but you make a lot more money than me. You can afford it.
That's awesome. I'll definitely need to email you.
That is awesome. Thank you. Runs the App Store at Amazon. That is super cool. Oh, here's one for you for the App Store. Let us know when things are under hazmat review.
Yes.
That's huge. I go and buy stuff. I get it home and I'm like, what do you mean I can't send it in?
Yeah, under hazmat review, and you don't even know it because when you scan it, it doesn't tell you on the app.
Yeah, and there's been times too that, there might be, before I used to be like, well, there's no FBA sellers, so it might be under hazmat review. Let me buy one and see, and then there's been times that there have been FBA sellers, including Amazon themselves. Mm-hmm. So I'll buy 6, bring it home, and then I can't send it in because it's under hazmat.
You know what I would like to see on the app? Kind of like what you can do on the home, like on the web page, you can integrate Keep It to where it pops up. I want to be able to scan something on the app, hit the item, and then Keep It pops up below that automatically on the app instead of having to go to Keep It.
Right.
Yeah, I think Amazon and Keep It are kind of at war, aren't they? Though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they play nice well together, huh?
It does it on the web page where it integrates the web page with Keep It, but it just
if you have the Keep It extension,
right?
Yeah. But if you could do that on the app, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, because I'll be sourcing in the store, and I find something. Okay, it's 4 million in home, so it's getting a little high. For me, for example, I mean it's still in the 10%, which is good, but I still want to look at it. So I go and look at it, and it sells once a month. But I'm not able to do that unless I go on, the Keep It website and, really dig in. And with my phone sometimes, depending on where I'm at.
Do you have Inventory Lab? Do you use Inventory Lab? Okay, so through inventory, that's another nice feature. Inventory Lab, you can create a shortcut that you can go right to Kiva from your product information page in Inventory, not Inventory Lab, Scoutify, the extension
Oh, okay.
Inventory Lab, that you
Yeah,
scan with your phone.
it's probably something that I'm probably going to get here soon. I've been trying to not have to go really deep into that type of stuff because I want to keep my costs down as much as I can because it's profits and I am new to Amazon. At one point 3 months ago I would still consider myself. I'm still new, but I feel like I'm
It's
starting
kind of
to.
the way I feel too.
Once I get to the 1 year mark, I'm still new. I'm still learning, and getting more apps like that. Now I feel like I'm really super invested now. So after a year point, I look back and then I look at all my plus minus for my profits and stuff, and then I'll probably make a decision of definitely getting it because I'm able to easily offset that cost with some of my profits that I've been
It's a
having.
huge
And
time saver for me. That's one reason why I'm a huge proponent of it for the $50 a month.
It's a huge time saver for me as well. It just saves so much time building shipments and stuff. Saves a lot.
Yeah, it's probably something I'm going to get into for sure because just being able to say I go to Walmart and I buy 7 an item, I come back, I can just already just tag it and throw it in a box, and I don't have to touch that item anymore unless I reconfigure my box.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Full-Time FBA's got a really good Keepa tutorial if you want to check that out.
Okay.
Or not Keepa, I'm sorry. He has a Keepa tutorial, which is fabulous too, but an Inventory Lab tutorial. And it talks about all the nooks and crannies of Inventory Lab. And there's, I think I watched it like maybe a month ago. I don't think I ever finished actually watching the whole video, but I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that was there, or I forgot that was there.
Yeah, I'm so glad that as crazy as it might sound that I got hurt at work, and now that I'm doing Amazon and reselling, I mean it was never a part of what I was doing until I got hurt, and I found out that this was a thing. Like it was something that you can actually have a business, or at the very least make a side hustle for. And for me, I love making money and providing for my family and stuff like that. So at that time I was home, not able to do much because I fractured my foot, and I'm just kind of limping around in a walking boot and getting workman's comp, and stumbled upon a few videos and started doing eBay, and then stumbled upon Rise and Grind Picker and a few other people, and I started doing Amazon. So Shane, I just like to thank you for the good information that you and others have spread to me to get me motivated, to show me the way to do Amazon, man, and resell. So I just I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. And I want people to be successful. Like I don't want them to not be successful. Obviously everybody's not going to be successful, but like Nate has the hustle to do it, and that's 90%.
Yeah, it goes back to that stamina I was talking about.
So yeah, it's 90% of it. The other 10%, that's the easy stuff.
Right. Like the drive and the time that I put into it on top of my job. Like for example, I came home at 9 or 10:30, and I worked the 8-9 hour day, and I came home and I did I didn't do much packing because I didn't have any orders go out for eBay, but I was on the computer checking my prices, sourcing for, looking for deals, and, doing stuff like that. I was up till 1:30 in the morning, and I was up at, I think it was 8:30. I woke up this morning. You know what I mean? Like for me, 7 hours of sleep is like a normal to above normal amount of sleep. So, is that a good for me? Probably not. But for my chance of me getting financial freedom is what I have to do right now, so I can enjoy my later years, or hopefully not more sooner than later, you know what I mean, where I'm able to hopefully go full time and have more time to do YouTube with you fabulous people, and you know, not have to deal with bosses and all that jazz.
Well, and sometimes that's why, like, dude, I have been grinding for so long, just like you, Nate, just like that. When I had a full-time job, I was doing exactly what you were doing. And, that's the thing is like, yeah, I was more agitated then because I was tired. I was always not getting sleep. And so, like, when someone left a stupid YouTube comment, I'd go off on them. Like, how much did you pay for the gas on that RA trip? It probably is all your profits. And then I would just be like,
The same old question.
But you got to understand is like anymore doing YouTube, like I just laugh and I move on because it's not worth getting mad at someone for some comment about gas money or whatever. It's just not worth it. And that's where like learning that taught me a lot more about Amazon because I have more patience for Amazon. I have more patience for doing stuff and other stuff like that. And like, I'll be honest, like the year I was born, like God did not give out patience. So I literally
Hey, what year were you born?
1987.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
say
God, you're
85.
a baby.
Gave me a lot of patience.
I always claim Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
You're the GOAT.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like Shane says, like, I remember watching his videos whenever he was working full time and doing exactly like he said, what I'm doing right now. And I would be like, how do you have enough time in a day to do what you do? Because he was putting out tons of videos, tons of, content, doing all types of stuff and working. So, I'm a very competitive type person, and not in a negative way, and actually a good way, because I see someone doing something, and I'm like, if he could do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, not in a negative way, but like, I can get more out of myself. So,
drive.
Right, because
Yeah,
that's one
raise
thing
the
I
bar.
have. I have passion. I have passion for what I do, and I have drive.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If it's going to benefit, my household and my kids and my family, and I can also help other people, that are around me, and spread some knowledge, or even they see my video just a random chance, like how I seen Global Voodoo's video on the reselling. That was the first person I watched, and here I am. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing really good, and I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Do I feel like I'm at a wall with Amazon? Yeah, but I kind of have an idea where I need to be or what I need to do to get over that hump.
You'll get there though, man. Like you embody your channel name. Like you really do hustle every day. Like you take 0 days off. Like even if you're off work, you're out grinding probably harder than you would be at work getting on eBay stuff. Like, cause I've been outsourcing with you, man. And like I see how hard you work and how much effort you put into it. So yeah, you're definitely going to get to that full-time status and probably, blow up as far as your business.
Yep.
I
Nate,
hope so, man.
You remind me of me. Like, and that's like looking at what you do, it's the exact same steps I took. And I killed myself doing it, but I don't care. It's what you gotta do sometimes.
You're killing yourself now.
I always do. That's my I love the more chaos the better. That's what I thrive on is chaos, and that's what I always have a lot on my plate. And but you know what, like most resellers aren't going to do that. You have to, in order to be successful in this business, you have to go where people don't want to go.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly it, because if you go to places other people don't go, you're going to have different products than everyone else, and that's where you really make good money, and that's where you really find stuff that does awesome. You know what I mean? You'll find something that maybe has a high ranking, one FBA and no FBA and only merchant field, and like I was saying before, and grab it and then send in 100 units like I did. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like me with that clothing I was saying before, with the 3 million rank. Every time one of those sells, I spent $5, and every time one sells, I make 23. So that's pretty darn good.
But I started reselling like with the attitude of like my goal is to outwork everybody. even though I can't do that, but that's my goal, and that's what I always like just push to do, like, and I feel like, it's kind of like one of those things where you got to work hard at it. You got to put in a lot of work, and even as a part-time seller on Amazon, I was out selling full-time sellers.
Yeah. I tell people that on eBay all the time, and it's the same with Amazon now that I'm on Amazon. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
If you're willing to work, you're going to get a great investment, because I know a lot of people that I've kind of helped get into eBay, and I've seen some of them, like, they literally just think that they can throw 10 items up on eBay and expect it to pay their bills and not have to do anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's just not going to work. You have to constantly be, sourcing stuff, listing stuff, shipping stuff. Same with, it's the same with Amazon. You just need to keep sending in orders. Just keep sending in different shipments to Amazon, and then it'll eventually start working for you. But
absolutely,
once you stop working, it's eventually going to slow down.
Yeah, you only get out what you put in.
Yep.
You'll get out more than what you put in, but you got to put in.
Exactly.
The best thing about Amazon is, like, with me having pneumonia and being sick and not feeling like doing shipments and going out and sourcing product, I can take a few weeks off, and if it scales down, I can scale it back up just as quick.
Yeah, as long as you realize it will scale down, that's the thing.
Because
you have to be realistic.
I was selling 1,000 a day to now I'm selling 300 to 600 a day. So
it's still insanely awesome.
Yeah.
Probably not for you, but like for someone like me, Harry, you're like doing more than I do in a month on eBay in like one day.
Yeah, there was a week back in, was the beginning of August, end of July, that we went on vacation, and I had a great back to school season. And for those listening, if you don't treat back to school as a holiday, you should be.
Right.
Because
Definitely.
my Amazon just blew up, and it was crazy. And there was one day I hit a record of selling 124 units, and I was on freaking vacation.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I was on vacation.
That's what I love about
124
Amazon.
units. I had somebody else shipping them. I had somebody else taking care of my customer service. And all I had to do was look at my phone and be like, ooh.
That's like refreshing to hear, because we're going to Disney in December, and I won't get back until probably around noon on the 20th, which is like the deadline to ship stuff for like Christmas. And like eBay, like I'm so stressed about going on vacation. But like Amazon, like if I was like, that was my primary, like just like you said, like you're on vacation, just like thrilled to death that everything's selling through.
Yeah.
Like eBay, I'm like crapping myself because I know I got to get home, and as soon as I get here, I'm gonna have to like.
I stressed out more about my eBay store, which is smaller when I was on vacation. I was, somebody would send me an offer, like whatever, and I'd have to write them back. And then I remember I even ended up calling eBay themselves because I had some issues being on vacation, and I spent more time on my eBay store, which is smaller than my Amazon store that blew up.
Yeah. Well, and you know why? I have my account's 4 years old, and I was so scared to do Amazon FBA. You know why I was scared to do Amazon FBA is because I listened to a lot of these YouTubers out there that says Amazon's stupid. The ROI is like 2%. Not true. Like, it's just a different way of thinking. But in the last 3 months, I've held over 100% ROI on average every month.
Yeah.
So when I'm selling 15 to 18,000 a month, well, 100% ROI is pretty damn good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my ROI over the last month is 149%.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's where I'm at.
Killer.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what mine is, but
yeah, like I mean,
but I'm happy with what I get.
Yeah, even at smaller chunks that I'm doing compared to other people, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting a lot out of Amazon, you know what I mean? Like
you're getting a lot or just as much as what you would get out of eBay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the thing too with Amazon, you can sell lower items. And there's one item I pick up for $1.47 at Walmart, and you know, when it sells, you know, I make like $1.50. But if I sell 30 of those a month, you know,
like
why not? I mean, it's 100% ROI. I throw 30 small items in my shipment, send it in, let some, you know, and yeah, you know, when they sell, then they sell.
Yeah,
like I had someone message me on Instagram, and they're like, "How do you even make money on Amazon? You can't go to a yard sale and buy something for $25 and sell it for $100 like you can eBay." And I'm like, "It's just different.
It is just different.
Like you can do that, but how long are you holding the item? A year? 6 months? 3 months? I mean, that's fine. I love eBay. Don't get me wrong. Love eBay. I have about 600 listings on eBay right now. I'm probably going to list today after the show.
Yeah.
I love eBay, but I think you have to do eBay with another platform. For me, I feel more comfortable making money on Amazon. I like to marry Amazon and eBay together and make them two streams of income. You know, instead of just selling out to do just eBay.
Hey guys, I don't mean to cut you guys off, but we have to run.
Yeah, we got someplace we gotta be in like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
We didn't know the show was gonna run so late.
We're just having so much fun. We can't help it.
Keep rolling with it. We just wanted we didn't want to just disappear. So
right. Much love, everybody. Have a
love you too.
Wednesday. If I can say
it. Thanks for coming on. Sorry I got to cut out, but
hey, thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Destiny.
Yeah.
You guys take care. Everybody in chat, take her easy. Roll with it. I'll be listening.
Yeah, I've probably got about another 15 minutes myself because I have a 1 o'clock doctor's appointment.
Yeah, we'll probably go for another 5 minutes, and then I'll do my giveaway, and then
this has just been so much fun, guys.
All right, catch you later.
Yeah, I gotta be here for that giveaway, dude. Because
I'll be listening, man. I'll be listening.
Filtering it by Picksburgh, right?
Filter has to have Pittsburgh in the username.
That's funny. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of people that give Amazon negative light, especially people that do YouTube, and I feel like you really have to do it, and it takes a long time to be successful at it. It's not like eBay. It's not as easy. You know,
eBay is not easy.
Well, I mean, like
they both have their points that make it hard. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when I first started out, you know, I just didn't instantly jump into having 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 in sales. It just built up over time. I had to keep grinding at it. On
the Amazon, I lost money the first month. I know Shane made money because I've heard that story before, but I lost money.
Like it took a little while to get where I'm getting, you know, decent payouts where, you know, it's a couple grand and, you know, it's cycling in like a paycheck, you know, or just as much as my paycheck, because I get paid from Amazon 3 days before my other paycheck. So it's always like, which one did better this last 2 weeks, Amazon or you know, or my job or whatever. And
my goal
like
is,
a 50-50 fight. You know,
my goal is not necessarily to look at the money per se, you know, it's just to see growth. Am I doing, you know, better in general this month than I did last month, or this month? For me, this, you know, these last 2 months have actually been slower for me, you know, because my back to school was so good. But, you know, now I know that for next year.
Pearl Nini. Yeah, I went to the doctors and got a bunch of meds and stuff. So yeah, definitely did that.
We got a sick boy.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's why I said eBay's easy. Is eBay, you can go to a thrift store and buy a shirt for $2 and throw it on your kitchen floor and take a picture of it and list it up and sell it. You know what I mean? On Amazon, you can't do that. It's more technical, more business oriented, and eBay's
business oriented. That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
eBay's
it's more professional.
A garage sale site, like the garage sale site of e-commerce. But I love eBay because I love finding junk and finding rusty stuff and finding all that stuff. That's like more like my passion. Retail arbitrage is not my passion. But it makes money.
Amazon's my passion.
Amazon is not even my passion. My passion is like finding like just crazy old stuff and, you know, and vintage concert t-shirts and all that stuff and selling it. But Amazon allows me to do that.
Like for me, like just finding products or things at yard sales. It could be either or for me. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Like I love RA sourcing just as much as I love yard sale, because if I can find an item that, you know, is gonna do very well, and I can make, you know, sell 100 of them, and, you know, keep grabbing them, or, you know, even if it's just a one-time buy of 100 or whatever, and I can buy them all and they'll sell within a week or a month or whatever the case is. You know, that's what drives me every time I leave the house to go source. I try to find that next, like, huge string of sales that, you know, I try to keep adding every time I go out.
And that's why I tell people, like, I love selling on Amazon, because it is like, if you treat Amazon like a job, you'll be successful. Like a 9-to-5 job where you wake up, you send in shipments. But I always tell people Amazon allows me to do what I'm passionate about, which is like antiques and collectibles and selling on eBay. That's what I'm passionate about. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
When I first started my channel, it was all around that stuff. It wasn't even Amazon. It was not even in sight. But I picked up Amazon because I realized, in order to be full time, if I didn't sell on Amazon, it was going to be really hard.
Yeah, because it's so scalable.
So scalable and so quickly scalable.
That's exactly what my thought was. Like, if I didn't do Amazon, like, I don't feel that, you know, I could go full time reselling. I just, because not because eBay can't be, because there's a ton of people that just do eBay and do it
I
full
just think
time
it's
and do
more
amazing.
tough.
Yeah, like you know,
Takes a lot longer to get there.
to sit there and bank on, you know, say $5,000 in profit a month or whatever the case is, to pay for bills and this, you know, not even just to stack it away in my bank or, you know, whatever, just to make sure my family's taken care of. Like, because I won't do anything to jeopardize that. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what. Like, I won't go to work today and just get fired on purpose or do anything like that, or you know, send a product in or get me suspended on Amazon. I won't do anything like that, or try not to do anything like that, because I don't want the effects of them. So, like, you know, for eBay, you know, for the amount of stuff that I've been selling and stuff like that, I just don't see that for me at this moment having a chance.
Yeah. But, you know, I like eBay, and I like selling. I mean, I shipped out 20 items yesterday.
Yay!
But that's because I've been sick and listing and not sending Amazon shipments. Once I get better, it's Amazon shipments all over again.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited to send in my shipment for this week. I'm going to work on it this afternoon and tomorrow. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have like one more like mega shipment before like it really gets too close to Christmas, because I want them to have a chance to be there, like, say, like the week before, so this way
get your pricing right.
Right.
And,
like that, like, because I mean, like, even if something hits after Christmas, there's still a lot of great sales after Christmas. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of gift cards that get given for Amazon and stuff like that.
And most importantly, then you got tax refund season, which is huge money.
Right. That's where, like, I was first seeing my first spike around that time, you know, like around the tax season, you know, people getting their refunds back, like, I think the middle of March or whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a great time to see, you know, some spikes for me, because I had my refund, and you know, I had some sales popping up for Amazon and stuff like that too. So
yeah,
Lynn, I am. She said I could tell you're hurting today. That's why I was off camera for a little bit. That I was stretching. This chair down here kills me. I got like a lumbar one upstairs that I need to bring down.
Oh, I have this one. It's like a real nice lumbar one, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have an Amazon office upstairs because I got tired of dragging all my Amazon stuff downstairs.
Yeah.
And so you have an eBay office and an Amazon office?
Yep. One downstairs. I got so tired of sitting in a crappy chair, I went out and bought like a $200 computer chair. I'm like, I'm done with this stuff. Yeah. And it's rough on your back. It hurt.
Definitely.
I use one of these butt pillows.
I'm sitting on one of those right now.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yep.
Well, we're
That's why
starting.
I'm always like high.
We're getting close. We better wrap it up, and I'll do my giveaway for.
Award me that gift card.
It's been so much fun, guys. Thanks
Yeah,
for having us on.
I really appreciate you
You
guys
guys
coming
are
on.
welcome anytime. I know I'm kind of speaking for Nate right here, but I come on Tuesday or Thursday when I host too. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll pop on from time to time. It sounds
Yeah.
like fun. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Just let us know anytime.
For sure. We appreciate it. Yeah, and we appreciate you guys having us on. And
Well, we can talk
look
after
forward
the
to
show
Anthony
and
coming on our
figure
show.
out when the next date could be, too.
For
You see
sure.
what Gary said, Nate? He said, Nate, you're the man. We're vaping buddies now.
We're vaping.
That beard and that vape are like literally going to take you viral, man.
Hopefully
Yeah.
one day. That'd be cool.
He looks like a dude that should be working on like American Choppers or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my screen here, and we're gonna do this giveaway. I've used YouTube randomizer,
That's
random
what I
comment
use.
picker. So I'll throw my
That's true,
link
Gary.
here.
I
So
do the CBD oil.
we'll make sure that there's no duplicate users. 14, and we're gonna start the raffle.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, what?
Dang.
That is crazy.
That's awesome.
And for the win, Picksburgh.
And the winner is Pittsburgh. That is.
What do you win?
Well, Anthony,
He wins
congratulations on the win.
He wins a $25 gift card of his choice.
Heck
For
yeah.
basically anywhere I can find a gift card. So
That's awesome.
Anthony, somehow you gotta get a hold of me somehow. I don't know how you're gonna get a hold of me.
I will say my favorite place is Longhorn Steakhouse. I'm just
I love
saying.
me some Longhorn.
I
That's
love a good
$25
outlaw
when you cover my
ribeye.
steak, though.
Yeah, I love a good outlaw ribeye. It's really good.
Dude, why don't we just do this? Rather than you spending money to get a gift card, why don't we just go out to eat next time we source and you just cover my portion?
You got it. You got it, bud.
Cool. That'll probably be cheap.
Place, like Longhorn Steakhouse.
All right, Longhorn Steakhouse.
We'll go somewhere.
$42 porterhouse for two.
Shaden will meet you there.
Hey, if you guys come to PA, I mean, I don't know if Marcy does any on the road RA, but
Not yet.
you know, I
In
know
my deck
Shane
of cards
comes
for next
close.
year, though.
Gary says
I
that.
came close, guys. I was pretty close. I was like right on the border of Ohio and PA.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys ever come to PA, you know what I mean. I'll we can always link up and hang out or whatever.
Yeah, I grew up on the Mason-Dixon.
I'll hit you
on the
I'll hit you
Maryland
guys
side.
for sure. We could all go to the Benz and then go out to eat or something.
Tell you what, Nate, why don't you do this? Because there's a couple people that have said rigged. I'm sure they're joking, but why don't you run it again and then just give it away to somebody else?
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Buy him lunch.
And he's still gonna buy you lunch anyway, so don't matter.
I will always receive lunch, but yeah.
I'll buy you lunch anyway. Let me share my screen again. That was crazy though.
Yeah, because I was just like joking for the last week, telling them to sort it by Picksburgh. Oh, I'm sure you guys are kidding. It's cool though.
But now it's gonna pick him again. Probably.
If it picks me again, then you're gonna get the D-Generation X croc.
I ran it. Boom Biggs TV is the winner. So whoever Boom Biggs TV is, make sure to hit me up on Instagram, and you will get a $25 gift card.
Heck yeah.
$25 gift card on of your choice.
Yeah, that's awesome for you guys to do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'll be putting out a video. Like I'm gonna record it today, and I'll probably have it out. I don't know, probably by Friday at the latest for my 1K giveaway. So I'm gonna do a Picksburgh T-shirt. Tommy and Destiny will ship anywhere in the world. I'll pay for it, and then I'll be giving away some probably like $50 eBay store credit and a few other things.
Nice.
And then we'll give it away either Tuesday or Thursday when I host the morning show next week.
That's awesome.
Mike, we're right by Pittsburgh. Like Anthony's basically in Pittsburgh. I'm like on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. Like I'm about an hour, about 45 minutes from.
You guys need to come to Pittsburgh and eat some Permane Brothers with me and Nate.
Oh,
Right?
that sounds good.
I got a Permani's like 5 minutes from my house.
What
I
was
went
it? Italian food?
It's going to be
No.
lunch from here. You guys keep talking about food.
Permani's is like one of the most famous places you can eat in Pittsburgh. Basically, they have sandwiches that have some kind of lunch meat with some French fries stacked on top, and then coleslaw stacked on top of that.
That
Yeah.
sounds.
It's like a
Sandwich
meal
is like
on bread.
this.
That sounds delicious.
It's like this
Yeah.
big.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the most famous place like to eat in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if
I
you search
can't-
Pittsburgh,
We have a lot
Permani's
of Italian
comes up.
food real close too, though. So if you like Italian food, I can hook you up with that too.
Oh, I love Italian. I love all
I'll
food.
give you
I
spicy
haven't missed any
meatball.
meals anytime recently besides the last 8 days, but
Do you mind if I repeat a plug in case if anybody missed it earlier?
Plug
No,
away.
Okay, so Shane and I do live shows on Tuesdays. We swap channels. If anybody who's a reseller is interested on coming on live with us, whether just to hang out and chat, ask questions from the chat, to help grow your channel, collab. Yeah, send us an email at theresellernetwork@gmail.com. We'd love to have you. We're booking in January right now.
yep.
And Nate was on our channel a couple weeks ago, and Anthony will be on our channel when again?
December 3rd.
3rd of
Yep.
December. And
we're taking New Year.
me and Tommy were just on last week. What's that, Shane?
We're taking New Year's Eve off, and we're taking Christmas Eve off.
Yeah.
For all you guys that said it was rigged, I know you were all just joking. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I made-
There's like literally no hard feelings there at all.
I made sure to check.
It still may
use
have been
the same
rigged,
one
so-
that Lonnie. Either way, I'll still take Anthony out to dinner because
Anthony still gets dinner. It's a win.
Yeah.
the double
Oh,
giveaway.
you could
I would
dinner.
have probably just got a gift card to somewhere I could eat anyway. So
You just upgraded from lunch to dinner somehow.
yeah. you should.
Originally it was just lunch. Now it's dinner. So you get dinner and help with Amazon FBA. How
I
cool
will
is that?
say, okay, go to Longhorn and get the outlaw ribeye and encrust it in a Parmesan crust.
It's good.
Mm.
Speaking of,
It's good. It's good. It's good.
All right, guys, it's 12, and I know Dee's live, so we're gonna shut her down. But thank you all for coming, and
Thanks, guys.
special thanks to our guests, Rising Ground Picker and Marcy, for coming to hang out with us. It was a great 2-hour show, and thanks for Anthony and Tommy who left a little early, but that's okay. Business and life happens, so he had something scheduled. We usually don't run this long, but we had so much great information in
how
chat.
can you not though with these guests? I mean,
I tried to
Thank you.
I tried to start with a bang, so this was a great first. Technically my first like live show that I did. The other one was a hangout, but that was like a test run for me. So
We do
Thank you all.
appreciate you guys having us on. It was a lot of fun though for me too. So
yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
I love talking to Amazon and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
but we're gonna cut it here, guys. Thanks for coming and tuning in, and we'll see you here next Wednesday on my channel for the Entrepre-doers.
tomorrow
Live
will be
show.
on mine.
Later, everybody.
See you guys.